You're watching South Asia Newsland and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 31st of July. Rescue operations continue in India's Kerala after landslides kill over 160. Bangladesh moves to ban Jamaat-e-Islami over violent protests. And residents of POJK upset over rising piles of garbage sewerage issues. And now for all the details. Rescue operations were underway in Wayanad district of India's Kerala, where the death toll has crossed 160, while more than 200 people have sustained injuries in multiple landslides triggered by heavy rainfall. Most of the victims were tea estate workers and their families who lived in small houses or makeshift shelters. Kerala's Chief Minister has announced 2 days of mourning and urged people to come together to rebuild destroyed livelihoods, similar to what they did after the 2018 floods in the state. The Indian Army said it has rescued 1,000 people and has begun the process to construct an alternate bridge after a crucial bridge was destroyed in the region. A woman shared her heartbreaking story, revealing that she lost both her son and her grandchildren in the tragic incident.
എൻ്റെ മോനും എൻ്റെ പേരക്കുട്ടികളും ഒക്കെ പോയി വെള്ളത്തിൽ പോയി ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ജീവിക്കാനില്ല ജീവിതവുമില്ല എല്ലാവരും പോയി മോനെ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ് ബോഡി കാണാൻ പോവുക.
After a day of extremely heavy rainfall that hampered rescue operations, the weather department forecast some respite on Wednesday. At least 187 people are still missing and the death toll is likely to rise. The Tuesday's landslides are one of the worst disaster incidents in Kerala since 2018, when heavy floods killed almost 400 people.
एक जंगल का ऐसा जगह पूरा इधर आया पकड़ लिया पूरा मुमकिन 300-400 घर था इसका ऊपर स्कूल था इधर थोड़ा आगे और स्कूल का आगे 300 का ज़्यादा घर था ये जगह पे दूसरा जगह पे 300 घर था अभी रेस्क्यू कर रहा है उन लोगों का कितना बॉडी गया तो मर गया तो पता नहीं.
Moving on. Vietnam is looking forward to working with India to raise bilateral trade to $20 billion. Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh said on Wednesday as he kick-started his 3-day state visit to India. Addressing a business event in New Delhi, the Vietnamese PM said India has been growing rapidly and has achieved gains under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. He said bilateral ties have been growing steadily and added Vietnam will look forward to have stronger cooperation focusing on strategic infrastructure, including transportation, energy, digital and climate infrastructure. On the first day of his visit, he also held talks with India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. He is scheduled to receive a ceremonial welcome on Thursday, after which he will hold talks with PM Modi and witness the signing of cooperation agreements between the two countries. And Pakistan's jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan on Tuesday said that his PTI party is ready to hold talks with the military, a remark that has drawn a lot of flack from the ruling Shehbaz Sharif-led government. Speaking in a court, Khan said that his party had never leveled allegations against the army but had only criticized the armed forces. He further said that if any PTI worker was found guilty in the May 9 violence, then the authorities should penalize the individual. Ruling PMLN senior leader Maryam Aurangzeb has rebuked Imran Khan's call for talks, saying that he has descended from his previous stances of "I will not seek pardon" to seeking an apology. Khan was ousted from office last year and has been in jail for nearly a year now in multiple cases. He has repeatedly blamed Pakistan's powerful military for his ouster from power. Moving on. Residents in parts of POJK are upset over rising piles of garbage and sewerage issues that have made their life miserable, while authorities are least concerned. Our report.
Residents of Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir are irked over inability of government authorities to handle the increasing trash and sewerage issues in the occupied region. A local politician decried the lack of funding to resolve the issues faced by the residents, as the unhygienic condition is also providing mosquitoes and diseases a breeding ground amid monsoon season, but authorities are least concerned to resolve the matter.
जो इंतखाबात हुए बल्दियाती लोकल वार्डियाँ वजूद में आ गई, लेकिन फंड्स की कमी और इख्तियारी की वजह से जिनके शहर का पुरसान हाल नहीं है। इसी तरह मैं समझता हूँ कि आज़ाद कश्मीर के 10 अजला में मीरपुर से लेकर रबला कोट और पुंछ में जो है कोटली बाकी अजला जो हैं बड़े शहर हैं, तो उनमें भी सफाई का तकरीबन यही हाल है। तो हुकूमत को और बाब इख्तियार को इस पर तवज्जो देनी चाहिए, यानी कि महकमा लोकल गवर्नमेंट है, बल्दियात है, उसको खुसूसी तवज्जो देनी चाहिए, वज़ीरात को तवज्जो देनी चाहिए, वो फंड्स की कमी का यानी कि उसमें जो भी कमी है उसको दूर करें।
Locals blame corruption and ignorance in the system have become major challenges, leaving POJK's future in dark. Lack of proper roads, health and other basic facilities have also made the occupied region as one of the most backward.
Nepali lawmakers have raised objections to the remarks by the Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Chen Song, about the ongoing search operation in the Trishuli River to locate 2 missing passenger buses that were washed away in a mudslide earlier this month. The 2 passenger buses had 65 passengers on board. Only 3 passengers could escape, while the remaining are unaccounted for. In the course of the search operation that have continued, a magnet weighing 19 kilograms brought by Indian specialists was washed away by the current of the Trishuli River. The Chinese ambassador shared a news link on X stating, "Find the magnet then." Terming the comments as offending, Abdul Khan, a lawmaker from the Janmat Party, said such remarks are not acceptable at any cost. He said the remarks were uninvited on internal matters of a nation and demanded the government needs to summon the envoy. Several other lawmakers also demanded the foreign minister to demand an explanation from the Chinese ambassador. And Bangladesh is set to ban the main Islamic party and its students' wing, which the government blames for violence this month that killed 150 people during student-led protests against reservations in government jobs. Talking to Reuters, Bangladesh Law Minister Anisul Haq said on Wednesday the decision was taken by the government for the benefit of the country. In a statement, the Jamaat-e-Islami condemned the decisions of the Awami League-led ruling alliance as illegal, extrajudicial and unconstitutional, but did not say how it would respond. Using state machinery, they are playing a blame game against Jamaat and other opposition parties, said Shafiqur Rahman, chief of the party, which along with the opposition has denied the government's statement that they stoked violence. Notably, the Jamaat was effectively banned from contesting elections in a 2013 court decision that its registration as a political party conflicted with the secular constitution of Bangladesh. Moving on. Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe received backing from 92 lawmakers in the parliament on Tuesday, giving momentum to his re-election bid in a vote in September. This came a day after Wickremesinghe, who holds only one seat in parliament, had failed to get official backing from SLPP, which has a significant number of lawmakers in the 225-member House. Wickremesinghe took to X to thank the parliamentarians who have stepped up to support him and said he was ready to welcome more. Among multiple candidates, Wickremesinghe is seen as the most market and reform-friendly option. Over the past 2 years, he has overseen a fragile economic recovery, and State Finance Minister stressed it as important to re-elect him. Wickremesinghe will now be working to drum up support from the minority parties in the coming weeks to bolster his chances. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow.